Welcome to the Mindset Mutiny podcast. I am your host, Mike Ivanov. Join me as we challenge the status quo, break free from self-imposed limits, and redefine what's possible. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm excited to get started today. We're going to continue off of where we left off last week. So without further ado, let's get after it. Let me ask you something. Who do you spend your time with? Think about it. Maybe even write it down. It's a very important question to consider. Who do you spend your time with? Who are the people in your corner? The voices in your head? The influences that shape your decisions? You are a product of your environment. Your circle of friends, your colleagues, your confidants. They don't just influence you. They define you. Their standards become your standards. Their ambitions, or the lack thereof, become your ceiling. So if you're serious about leveling up, if you're determined to become the best version of yourself, it starts with taking a hard look at who's walking that path with you. It's not about judgment. It's about alignment. Are the people around you pulling you forward or holding you back? Are they lighting fires underneath you, pushing you towards greatness? Or are they content with mediocrity, quietly chipping away at your drive with excuses and negativity? The reality is that your future depends on your ability to make the tough calls. And trust me, they'll be tough, but growth demands sacrifice. And sometimes that sacrifice means letting go of relationships that no longer serve you. Relationships that no longer support the person you're becoming. So this segment is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are ready to face the uncomfortable truths about the company they keep. It's about stepping up, taking control, and building a circle that matches your vision. Because at the end of the day, your friends don't just reflect your future. They are your future. There's an old saying I'm sure a lot of you have heard, and I really like it. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. It's harsh, but it's so true. Your circle determines your standards, your habits, and ultimately your success. If your friends are out there hustling, leveling up, and holding themselves to a high standard, you're naturally going to be inspired to do the same thing. But if your circle is full of people who make excuses, settle for mediocrity, or even worse, tear down your ambitions, then you're setting yourself up to stay stuck in the same place year after year. So let's take it one step further. Sometimes you got to make a tough call. You may have to fire people from your circle. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It will be hard. These might be people you've known for years, people you care about. But if they're not aligned with the future you're building, keeping them around will cost you more than you realize. Growth requires sacrifice, and that includes letting go of relationships that no longer serve your journey. If you want to become a high performer, you need to surround yourself with high performers. You can't learn the mindset, the discipline, and the habits of top-tier individuals if you're consistently surrounded by mediocrity. Excellence is not contagious when it's absent from your environment. High performers push boundaries. They challenge themselves and the people around them. They don't let you settle for good enough because they know it's possible when you operate at your highest potential. But you won't absorb those lessons, that mindset, or that energy if you're spending all your time with people who are comfortable being average. If you are serious about growth, you need to seek out environments where excellence is the standard. You need to be around people who've accomplished more than you, who think bigger than you, and who will push you to reach levels you didn't even know were possible. Now, here's the hard pill to swallow. If you're the most successful person in your circle, it's time to find a new circle. Why? Because being the top dog in any environment creates a level of complacency. When you're constantly the one people look up to, you stop being challenged. You stop growing. And growth is the whole fucking point. Think about it. If no one around you is pushing you to do better, it's easy to get comfortable. You start thinking, I'm doing better than everyone else, so I must be doing great. But great isn't the goal. Exceptional is the goal. And to reach that, you need to be around people who force you to up your game, who make you uncomfortable with staying the same. This does not mean abandoning your friends or looking down on them. It means recognizing that your growth requires new influences, new challenges, and new levels of accountability. Growth is uncomfortable, and that's exactly why it's necessary. As we've discussed so many times in previous episodes, complacency is the enemy of success. If you're not constantly pushing yourself, you're falling behind. And the only way to keep pushing is to be surrounded by people who refuse to let you settle. People who demand more from you, not because they're hard on you, but because they see your potential and want you to reach it. So here's the challenge. Take a hard look at your circle. Ask yourself, are these people helping me grow? Are they pushing me to be better? Or are they holding me back with their comfort zones? If the answer isn't what you want to hear, it's time to make some changes. Remember, firing people from your circle isn't about being cruel. It's about prioritizing your future. And finding a new circle of high performers isn't about abandoning your roots. It's about reaching your potential. Surround yourself with people who challenge you and you'll become unstoppable. Because in the end, the only way to reach the top is to keep climbing. And you can't climb if you're surrounded by people who are content standing still. Now here's the hard part. Removing toxic people. Let's be real, this isn't easy. These might be people you've known for years. They could be your friends, family, coworkers, people you shared memories with, leaned on, and cared about deeply, but here's the unfiltered truth. You can't grow while you're dragging dead weight. Toxic people have a way of slowly chipping away at your mindset, your confidence, and your vision. They may not even realize they're doing it, but the impact is undeniable. They bring negativity, doubt, and drama into your life. They downplay your achievements, question your goals, and in some cases, make you feel guilty for wanting more. I've seen that in my own life. I've had to make those hard decisions. If you try to make me feel guilty for wanting more, you're out of my circle immediately. So don't fall into that trap. Wanting more isn't selfish. It's what drives growth. It's what forces you to evolve so you can achieve more. Anyone trying to talk me out of that, they can fuck right off. Grow or die, motherfucker. It's that simple. And here's something that you need to understand. Removing toxic people isn't personal. It's necessary. It's not about hating them or wishing them ill. It's about prioritizing your mental health, your peace, and your growth. You're not doing this because you're better than them. You're doing it because you're choosing to protect your energy and align your life with your goals. Think of it this way. If someone's constantly draining your energy, holding you back, or filling your mind with negativity, keeping them around isn't just hurting you. It's also preventing them from facing their own issues. Sometimes the best thing you can do for both parties is to create distance, so you can focus on your growth while they work through their challenges on their own. I gotta warn you, self-growth can and will be a lonely journey. When you decide to level up, not everyone in your life will understand or support your choices. Some people will feel threatened by your growth. Others might resent the fact you're changing because it forces them to confront their own stagnation. And in some cases, you simply outgrow relationships that once felt unbreakable. But rest assured, this loneliness is part of the process. When you strip away the noise, the distractions, and the toxic influences, you're left with yourself. And that can be uncomfortable. But it's also where the magic happens. It's in those moments of solitude that you truly learn who you are, what you're capable of, and what you want out of life. Yes, cutting people out will be painful. There'll be moments where you second guess your decisions, moments when the loneliness does feel overwhelming. But let me tell you this. The pain is temporary. It will pass. But the growth is forever. Your peace, your progress, and your purpose are worth far more than the temporary discomfort of letting someone go. By removing toxic people, you're making space for the right people, the ones who will support your journey, challenge your thinking, and celebrate your wins without envy. You're creating an environment where you can thrive, free from the weight of negativity and doubt. So when the time comes to make those tough decisions, I want you to remember this, and I've said it before. It's not personal, it's necessary. All growth demands sacrifices, and sometimes that sacrifice comes in the form of relationships. But the reward is a life aligned with your highest potential, surrounded by people who inspire, uplift, and push you to be your best self. One major warning I want to share with you when you're building that small circle is that you don't want yes men. These people are dangerous. Let me repeat myself again. Yes men are dangerous. They'll smile, nod, tell you everything you want to hear. On the surface, it feels good. They boost your ego. They make you feel powerful, invincible even. But beneath that surface, they're setting you up to lose. And here's why. Yes men don't care about your growth. They care about keeping you comfortable. They'll validate your bad decisions, overlook your flaws, and let you coast when you should be pushing harder. They might think they're helping you by keeping things smooth, but in reality, they're holding you back. Worse yet, they're letting you drift toward failure without even saying a word. You don't need that in your life. You need people in your circle who aren't afraid to call you out. A lot of us don't want to be called out. But if you want to get better, you need to grow the fuck up and listen when people call you out. You want people who will tell you the hard truth, even when it stings. If you're slacking, they'll say, hey, you're better than this. Step it up. If your plan has holes, they'll point them out and help you fix them. They're not doing this to tear you down. They're doing it because they care too much about your success to let you settle for anything less than your best. These are the people who truly have your back. They're not impressed by your title, your achievements, or your reputation. They see your potential and they'll push you to reach it, even if it means making you uncomfortable. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. I'll say it a million more times because so many of you are all about that comfort life. Fuck that. Growth happens when you're forced to confront your weaknesses, face your mistakes, and push through the discomfort of getting better. Let's dig a little bit deeper into why yes men are so dangerous. They create an illusion of power and control, but it's hollow. When everyone around you agrees with everything you say, you start to believe that you're infallible. You stop questioning your decisions, you stop seeking feedback, and worst of all, you stop growing. When things inevitably go wrong, and they will, you'll be blindsided. Why? Because the yes men in your circle never told you the truth. They saw the cracks in your plan, the flaws in your execution, but they kept quiet because they didn't want to rock the boat. Or maybe they wanted to see you fail. And now you're the one left holding the bag, wondering how you got there. Yes men might make you feel powerful in the short term, and that might feel good. But they strip you of the accountability and self-awareness you need to sustain success. They'll inflate your ego, but they'll also inflate your blind spots, setting you up for a massive fall. If you're serious about winning, about truly becoming the best version of yourself, you need people in your corner who challenge you. People who hold you accountable, who aren't afraid to tell you you're wrong or you can do better. These people will push you to question your own thinking, refine your strategies, and elevate your game. They're not your critics. They're your allies in growth. True accountability is a gift. It's not always comfortable, but it's necessary. The people who hold you to the highest standard are the ones who will help you reach it. They'll ensure your foundation is solid, your vision is clear, and your execution is sharp and relentless. So here's another challenge to you. Take a hard look at your circle. If everyone around you is a yes man, you've got work to do. Seek out people who challenge you, who will force you to confront the uncomfortable truths, and who will make sure you never settle. Because at the end of the day, comfort won't get you to the top. Accountability will. At the end of the day, your circle should reflect the life you're working toward. Your vision, your goals, your dreams, they all require alignment. You need people around you who fucking get it, who understand the grind, and who are just as committed to growth as you are. These are the people who will not only lift you up when you stumble, but also challenge you to reach heights you didn't even know you were capable of. Think about it. If you're building a life of discipline, success, and relentless pursuit of excellence, what good is it to surround yourself with people who are content with fucking coasting? Mismatched energy will always drag you down. You need people who will fuel your momentum, not slow it down. People who will call you out when you're slacking, celebrate your wins without envy, and keep you grounded when your ego tries to take over. Not everyone is meant to walk the entire journey with you. Some people only come into your life for a season, and that's okay. But when it becomes clear that someone's energy, attitude, or actions are holding you back, it's time to let them go. Don't hesitate. It doesn't mean you stop caring about them or wishing them well. It means you recognize that your growth requires a different environment. You can't afford to carry people who aren't willing or able to keep up. Holding on to relationships that no longer serve your vision is like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of weights. You might still make some progress, but you will never reach your full potential. And let's be clear, this is not about being selfish. It's about being strategic. We have one life, one shot at building the future we want. Every decision we make, including who we allow into our circle, either moves us closer to that future or pulls us farther away from it. When you surround yourself with people who align with your vision, everything changes. Conversation becomes richer, filled with ideas, strategies, mutual encouragement. You find yourself constantly inspired, constantly learning, and constantly pushing to be better. These people won't let you get complacent. They'll hold you accountable, not because they're trying to control you, but because they believe in your potential and want to see you succeed. Your circle, when it's built correctly, becomes a force multiplier. When everyone is aligned, the collective energy, the focus, and the drive amplify each individual's efforts. Suddenly, challenges that once felt insurmountable seem manageable, even exciting, because you know you've got a team of people who will push, pull, and fight alongside you to get you through it. Again, letting someone go from your circle doesn't mean you hate them or wish them harm. I can't say that enough. It just means you're prioritizing your growth, your peace, and your purpose. It's a tough decision, but it's one that you owe to yourself, because at the end of the day, you're not just building a life. You're building your life. And you can't afford to let anyone derail that. So here's the $1 million question. Does your circle reflect the life you're working toward? If not, it's time to make some changes. Protect your energy, align your circle, and keep moving forward, knowing that the people walking alongside you are just as committed to the journey as you are. You're either building your life or letting someone else's baggage weigh it down. There is no middle ground. The energy you allow into your circle will shape your future, your wins, your growth, your legacy. It's time to make some hard decisions. So stop hesitating. Stop making excuses for people who aren't ready to rise with you. This isn't just about cutting ties. It's about owning your fucking life. Every relationship, every interaction should align with the mission you're on. If someone in your circle isn't helping you become the best version of yourself, they're holding you back. And that's unacceptable. Let me tell you from personal experience, the people in my circle, my very small, carefully chosen circle, aren't just sitting back watching life happen. They're out there every day, taking actions that inspire me, that push me to hold myself accountable, and that make me dream even bigger. When I told one of them I ran my first half marathon, which was a huge deal to me, 13.1 miles worth of suffering, I texted him, told him I did it. And you know what he said? I got a text back that said, on to 26.2. That's it. No over-the-top praise, no coddling. Just a reminder that there's always another challenge waiting, more work to be done, more sacrifices to be made. That's the kind of energy that lights a fire under me. That's what I need to fucking hear. Sure, it might feel nice to have people pat you on the back, tell you, how great you are. That's for the weak. But that doesn't get you anywhere. My circle gives me a high five and then asks what's next. And the thing is, they're always right. Here's the real difference. The people in my circle aren't impressed with what I do. Or at the very least, they'll never let me know they are. Why? Because they know that kind of validation breeds complacency. They know their job isn't to inflate my ego. Their job is to build momentum, provide insight, and help me see the angles I might miss. They stop me from self-sabotaging and becoming my own worst enemy. They're the third-party observers of my life, dissecting my every move and delivering an after-action report on how I could have done it better. And the thing is, I live for that shit. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want someone to tell me I did a good job. I want to fucking win. And to win, every detail has to be scrutinized. Hard advice has to be given. And the truth has to be told. That's what my circle brings to the table. They're not there to make me feel good. They're there to make me great. But it's not a one-way street. I watch their every move too. I study their routines, their habits, how much they sleep, what they eat, how they exercise, how they structure recovery, what they're reading, and what they're doing to get better. I can ask them the hard questions. What emotions do they experience when they're under pressure? What drives them to keep pushing? When their back's against the wall, what's the inner monologue saying? When I get the chance to spend time with someone in my circle, we don't waste a second. Every conversation is about getting better. We talk about challenges, ideas, and solutions. We don't have time for meaningless small talk, criticizing others, or bitching and complaining about our situation, because we're focused on what truly matters. We are focused on driving forward, working on ourselves, and building something bigger. I got to tell you, I'm also so very thankful for another member in my circle, a newer member in my circle who has pushed me so hard to start this podcast, like really pushed me. And I really needed that push at the time. I was afraid to do it for the longest time. Frozen, stuck in my head, afraid to fail, mostly worried about what others would think. But he didn't let me get distracted with all that. And he didn't just cheer me on. He made me think deeper about what I truly want, what my desire is, and what I'm willing to do to make it happen. That push made me confront my fears and go after what I really, really care about. That push made me identify my desire, my purpose, my passion. And what's that? That's helping others lead the lives they've always dreamed of. But that clarity didn't come from me. It came from my circle, from someone challenging my thought process and the stories I was telling myself. Someone who knows what I'm capable of and is helping me realize that. Someone who will push me far outside my boundaries because they know where I want to go. And here's the beauty of having a circle like this. It's not just about inspiration, it's about accountability. When you surround yourself with people who you respect deeply, you'll do everything in your power not to let them down. It's like a built-in accountability device that drives you to follow through. I'll never, ever tell my circle I'm going to do something and then not deliver. That's not an option. My circle doesn't let me settle for less than my potential. And because of them, I'm chasing my desires with everything I've got. So take a hard look at your circle. Audit every relationship. Take note of who's lifting you up. Really take note of who's dragging you down. And be ruthless in your evaluation because your future demands it. If someone's not ready to walk the path with you, let them go. It's not personal. It's survival. And don't stop there. Seek out those who challenge you, who will push you to level up, who will hold you accountable. Surround yourself with people who set the bar so high that you have no choice but to rise to meet it. Because that's how you win and that's how you dominate. You have one life, one shot. Don't waste it carrying dead weight. Step up, own your fucking energy, build your circle with attention and ferocity, and remember this. If you're not growing, you're dying. It's time to choose growth, to choose accountability, and to show the world exactly who you are. So what's it going to be? Will you rise? Or will you let mediocrity keep you anchored? It's completely up to you. But you either rise and take control, or you stay rooted in place, watching life pass you by. So hit that follow button and share with someone who needs to hear this. That's how we grow this together. And I want you to know I am here for you. You can reach me anytime at mike@mindsetmutiny.com. If you're struggling with something, need help navigating challenges in your own life, or have a specific topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know. Get out of your comfort zone and send me a message. I would love to help.